Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Discover Arbonne. I am Regional Vice President Artey Mendoza, and I'm here joined with Regional Vice President Cheryl Shaw, actually Cheryl Shaw Graham. And we are going to share with you our story before we get ahead into the wonderful news about Arbonne. But we are going to share our story first, and then we're going to go ahead and share with you the opportunity, the business opportunity, the Arbonne story with you. So welcome again. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy. So like I said, my name is Artey Mendoza, and I am a regional vice president. I did not sign the contract and become a regional vice president just like that. Just so you know, when I first found out about Arbonne, it was 10 years ago. I was finishing my degree at Cal State Long Beach, and my focus and goal in life was to become a physician assistant. Therefore, I worked in the medical field for 9 years, along with physicians, nurses, and people like Cheryl, who love helping people. And I never imagined that anything like Arbonne existed. But luckily, it was shared with me, just like we're sharing it with you tonight. And it looked like a presentation. I was physically in a room with 25 other women, listening to, for the first time in my life, about Arbonne and the opportunities and benefits it had. And it was up for grabs, just like it is today. But just so you know, I was super busy. I was probably sleeping on a good day 5 hours. I didn't have time. I didn't know many people. I didn't really have a social life back then because I was either at work or at school or doing homework. I lived at school most of the time. And so if you're like me, busy, don't have time, and never imagined that your life could look different in 5 to 10 years, I want you to hold on to your seat, because this opportunity, not only has it changed my life, but it has changed my family's life. And I'll tell you why. When I was super busy and I didn't have any more room in my plate, I was super stressed out. My life, I was accruing a lot of student loan debt, and I knew it was going to be like that for a while. I thought success looked like that. I thought people who wanted success went to school, got degrees, more degrees if you wanted to get paid more, and then worked until retirement, and then hoped that we had enough in Social Security to pretty much get by, you know. And so if you're thinking that way, or if you're in that situation, I'm going to ask you the question that changed my life and the reason why I joined Arbonne. That night I heard about Arbonne, and that question is, if you continue doing what you're doing today, where will you be in 5 to 10 years? And when that question was asked to me, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in full debt. I am not going to have children because I don't want to leave them in daycare. And who knows if I could even afford that. And during that time, my parents, my parents came as immigrants to this country. So I came from a working class family. My parents all the time had 2 jobs, whether it be at a factory, my dad, or working out picking strawberries, my mom. And then at night, they were janitors. So I didn't come from a place where, a middle class, I would say. I was always, looking at them like, gosh, there's got to be a different way. And so my parents always said, just go to school, learn the American way and dream big. But we don't know how to help you outside of that. You got to help yourself. And so I did that. I listened. I went to school and I was learning and learning, but I realized that I was getting deeper and deeper into debt. And I was scared. I was scared of what the future would hold for me. It was unknown, and I knew the only fact I knew was that I was going to be in serious trouble financially. So my honey and I had decided that we weren't going to have kids. We were just going to focus on careers and traveling, hopefully on credit cards, and try to pay off debt as quickly as possible. It's because we needed to help our parents. Both of us come from immigrant households. So it was our duty to, pay it forward. And so that was our life back then. It was really stressful. We always fought about money. And it wasn't fun, day in and day out, we did the same thing. And it was scary. It was pretty scary, but we thought that was the norm. We thought this is what people do. If there's nobody to help you, then you got to help yourself. That's how we felt. So long story short, I became a district manager, and Cheryl's going to share with you the levels. Luckily, there is a system for success, and there are only 4 levels of management. And I got to the first level in 3 months. The next 3 months, just for sharing this opportunity and the amazing products that worked for me. Let me back up a little bit. When I first found out about Arbonne, I had a lot of acne scars. So I had a lot of acne scars that were, that I was dealing with for about, I'm going to say 5 or 6 years at the time, that my dermatologist couldn't fix. No makeup or skincare was fixing. And then here comes Arbonne. I tried the products, my skin changed, my health was changing, I felt good about myself, and my confidence was, building up. So that's why I couldn't shut up about these amazing, phenomenal products that actually worked. And so I quickly became an area manager in 6 months because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. And nobody had heard about Arbonne back then when I first started Arbonne in Long Beach. So nobody knew about it. And so I was excited to tell people this story. And sure enough, people in my family saw a difference in my skin, and they wanted to know if I had plastic surgery, because I used to have these deep forehead lines across my forehead and down here, and it always made me look like I was worried. And then my cheeks were falling just from all the stress and all the bad makeup I was wearing, and to cover up all the acne scars. So anyway, and I had super oily skin too. Oh gosh, I was a big mess. But thankfully, Arbonne worked, and everybody wanted to know what I was using. I quickly told everybody what I was using, and I became a regional vice president in 18 months, just by sharing, again, pure, safe, and beneficial products and the business opportunity, and teaching people how to use the products and teaching people how to build a business. So it was that simple. And I did it in my nooks and crannies of my busy days. I was able to graduate from Cal State Long Beach. And at the same time I graduated, I earned my free white Mercedes with Arbonne. So that was my own graduation gift for myself. I graduated in May, and in June I earned my white Mercedes for Father's Day. So I was super excited, and I couldn't believe it, honestly. Let me tell you why. When I first joined Arbonne, there were no other Latinas driving a white Mercedes, no multicultural initiative that we have today. Thankfully, I've been able to work with Cheryl, who became the first African-American in Southern California to earn the white Mercedes. And we work together even when we're not being compensated by each other, which that is the Arbonne culture. We help each other. We help people earn and, of course, transform their lives and pretty much get what they deserve. So that's why I love sharing this opportunity still today. And I look forward to watching your lives change with Arbonne. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit more as we go. But let me share with you the Arbonne story. Arbonne is a botanically based beauty, health, and wellness company, and it now has turned into a 37-year-old company. January, this month actually, it became a 37-year-old company, which is amazing because it has been in the U.S. Since 1980. So that is super exciting, and we're still ground floor. I'm telling you that because still not a lot of people have heard about us. The great thing about Arbonne too is that they're always coming out with cutting edge technology, cutting edge research and development to create unparalleled products that actually work and give results. And of course, as you will see if you join us, you will see a passionate culture of independent consultants that love helping people. And I always ask people, did you used to sell anything before Arbonne? And a lot of times they haven't. So don't be afraid of that. I didn't come from a sales background, but I do love helping people. So you'll be all right too. And we have a global opportunity. Right now, we are in 6 countries. In 2006, we went into Canada. And then in 2007, if you can see my arrow here, we went into the UK and also Australia. And then recently, we went into Poland in 2015 and Taiwan and New Zealand. So this is we're growing. It's a huge global business, and people are building it by their mobile phones. So that wasn't around when I started. I didn't build my business with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or mobile technology, which is amazing to me that people get to do that and today. And so it makes it easier and faster for you to build your empire. And there's also a very generous compensation plan. If you put it up against any corporation, I don't think there is anything better than Arbonne, honestly, because you get to work around your own time. You get a free white Mercedes, and you get to be your own boss. And nobody could afford me. So I'm unemployable because Arbonne has spoiled me, right, Cheryl? And we have an opportunity to will this business. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to our compensation plan. At the second level, you'll hear Cheryl share how this business is a willable business just at the second level of management. And we also have the home office that is amazing, and it's always willing to help us in our teams. We also have a state-of-the-art distribution center and support centers, which are amazing. You're paying $79 for all of this in a package. So it is the future. It is the business of the 21st century. And that's the reason why a lot of people are joining, no matter what their career is. So this is a traditional business model. This is what most, I'm going to say self-employed, are used to doing. They're used to paying for manufacturer, wholesalers, warehousers, sales force, retailers, and a lot of money and risk take place here in traditional business models. And so the consumer in the end ends up paying a higher price. And of course, this is all a headache, I'm going to say. In Arbonne, we don't have to deal with payroll. The home office does that. Our home office team does that. We don't have to work long hours. Ask any self-employed person. They live at their company. I have an uncle who owns his own business, and he is there Monday through Sunday. He takes maybe 1 or 2 Sundays off. And so, we don't have to do that. Also, I said consumers pay a high price because there's a lot of advertisement that has to take place if you want a successful traditional business, business model. Now with Arbonne, it's considered a network marketing model, and as you can see, there's not that many hands in exchanging the product. It goes directly from the manufacturer, a lot of times to the consultant, because that's the biggest discount, and you'll hear that from Cheryl in a minute. And guess what? With network marketing, you're already a part of this. You're already contributing to network marketing, and this is how. Raise your hand if you've referred anybody to a hairstylist lately, your nail lady, makeup, to a shampoo that you're using, to hair products that you're using. How about a restaurant or a movie? If you have done that, or anybody that has done that, the only difference between that and network marketing in Arbonne is that you're not getting paid for that. With Arbonne, you get paid to refer people and to teach them how to use these amazing products. That's what we do. And our clients get to order online. They have the power to order online 24/7. So when I'm sleeping, sometimes I'm making money. I wake up and my web reports are blowing up, especially during Christmas, right, Cheryl? So Arbonne does all the stocking for us and delivers to our clients via UPS in 2 to 3 days. And we also have consumable products, which equal repeat orders. And that's really important if you want a successful business and leveraging and residual income, meaning repeat orders equaling repeat income. And of course, that allows you to leverage your time in network marketing. If you teach, let's say, 4 people to work 10 hours a week, which is what me and Cheryl are doing, you are working your 10 hours, and the 4 people that want to change their lives are working their 10 hours a week. Guess what? Your earning power is now 50 hours a week. Now, working a 40-hour job, do you have an extra 50 hours of energy to work? No, but you probably do have another 10 hours to work in the nooks and crannies and weave through your lifestyle and busy lives, right? That's what I did when I first started. And quickly I was able to replace a full-time income doing that. And I quickly quit my job, my just over broke, and I started a family because of Arbonne. So I didn't have to worry about money anymore. And the products, I told you I had acne scars, and aging was happening very quickly because of the products I was using. And the great thing about Arbonne is that we have products that are unparalleled to any other products you will find out in the market. So be very confident about this. We are plant-based. We have the best of science and nature blended together, and it is the highest quality of ingredients from around the globe. That's actually where earlier when I mentioned about Arbonne, that's where the money goes into. It goes back into research and development to create these high quality ingredients, and of course make them pH correct and hypoallergenic. We are vegan certified, which is huge. You know, I never wanted any products or any lipsticks that had any animal fat or anything like that. And it was really hard back then to find vegan certified products. And that was one of my questions when I first heard about Arbonne. Is it vegan certified? And of course, my upline said, yes, it is. And I went, what? You know, I never heard of a vegan certified company 10 years ago. So Arbonne is cutting edge, and it didn't just start becoming vegan certified yesterday. It has been since 1980. And I'm very comfortable sharing that with people, and very confident that our products are going to work and be pure, safe, and beneficial for the whole entire family. And they are dermatologist tested. You know, keep in mind that a lot of the commercials out there say dermatologist approved. That just means somebody signed off, got paid to sign that off, and say, sure, I'll recommend them. You know, didn't really test them. Okay, there's a difference. And we are clinically proven. And also, we're never testing on animals. If you're unfamiliar with rendering plants, I encourage you to, when we get off this Zoom, to go and Google rendering plants and see what you find out, and how makeup is being made and how skincare is being made, especially high-end makeup from Nordstrom's and all those big corporations. Also, we are built on Swiss heritage and European standards, which are much higher. Just so you get an idea, the European standards, or the European Union, has banned over 1,200 toxic ingredients they cannot use, okay? In the US, we've only banned less than 10. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm so proud to be a part of Arbonne and to share these products that are built on Swiss heritage and European standards. Also, the Arbonne advantage is that what our products are formulated without. And this is huge, because now you'll go to the grocery store and you actually see an aisle of gluten-free products, right? Well, it's not only what you consume or what you ingest, it's also what you apply on your skin that matters. So all of our products, like myself, I used to also have eczema. And of course, once I started washing my body with our products, with our body lotions and body soaps, I couldn't believe that my eczema also, eradicated. And I was like, how did this happen? Well, started learning about gluten way back when, and nobody knew what gluten was. Nobody knew what vegan was. People thought I was crazy, but I thought, no, you got to listen to this and you got to try. It makes perfect sense. Arbonne formulates without gluten because it's not good for people like me that have sensitive skin, and it's just not good to ingest, and it's not also safe to apply on your skin because it causes an allergic reaction. Also, petrolatum is gasoline byproduct that goes in your car. So why would you need it in vitamins? Why would you need it in gummy bears? Why would you need, you see it in all those products. Why would you need it in I saw it in children's vitamins still. Why would you need it in your lotions? It is known to imbalance your hormones. We don't need that. We need to be pure, safe, and beneficial. So animal products or byproducts, we never have any of that. We never test on animals, or we never have formaldehyde donating preservatives. Formaldehyde is what is used on dead bodies to embalm them. We don't need that. We're not dead yet. Chemicals, dyes, and fragrances. I couldn't use anything that had a fragrance. It would give me a headache, of course, aggravate my eczema, and create more allergy reactions. So Arbonne doesn't use any of this. Also, our nutrition never has artificial sweeteners, nor colors, nor flavors. And that's a huge one, because that's what you'll see a lot of in energy drinks and also in protein shakes. And we have pure, safe, and beneficial nutritionals as well. And there are also no parabens or phthalates in our shampoos or any of our products, period. So if you're already using any of these consumable products, guess what? You could join Arbonne and be a consumer, or join our team and share what the news you just heard right now. We have something from skincare, nutrition, sun care, makeup, bath and body, and hair products, baby products. We actually have something, what our former president used to say, we have something from the basket to the casket. And that's, you can share it with anybody and you'll find a product for somebody. Might not be skincare for them, but it could be the nutrition, and it could change their health. So people are looking for these products. I was using 30 products already that were not pure, safe, and beneficial. So all I did was I turned an expense into an income, and I taught a few people how to do what I do. And that's all Arbonne's about, So now with that, I'm going to hand it over to our beautiful RVP, Cheryl Graham.
Thank you, Artey. I appreciate it. Hi, you guys. So yes, my name is Cheryl Graham, and I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. It is past 11 o'clock tonight, but I'm up because I love Artey. And I told her I'd do this. And I also love Arbonne, so it makes it even easier. And so let me tell you about myself. I have been a nurse for about, I think this year's gone on 21 years. And although I love nursing and I love helping people, the idea that I was giving my time away was the problem. And I didn't realize it because I loved what I was doing. I was working, I would go in, work 7A to 7P, and then I would work 8P to 6A, and then I would work 7P to 7A, 7A to 7P again. But I thought I was doing it because I loved what I was doing, but I found myself, I was in a rut, basically. I was in this rat race because I was in California, but I had a household in Greensboro, North Carolina, so I had to take care of that household and my California and what was going on there. So I was burning the candle on two ends, and nothing was getting better for me. And believe it or not, my girlfriend, Shani Starks out of High Point, North Carolina, introduced me to Arbonne years ago, probably 8 or 9 years ago, but I just told her, no, thank you. I'm okay. I'm going to work my job to get my freedom, which was a lie. And hindsight is 2020. I look back and think like, wow, why was I ignorant to the fact that, this business could have really changed my life? Because 4 years ago is when I really decided to when I said yes to this business. And what happened, I was working, I was working those crazy hours you just heard about. And I think it all came to a head, and I hit a brick wall. And I was literally sick and tired. And I was walking around in the days. I had anxiety. I would wake up with night sweats. I was losing my hair. I put my hand in my hair like this, and I would come out with gobs of hair. I had a tremor in my hand like this. I mean, it was horrible. And the worst thing for me, not that stuff, it was the acne that got me. I developed some adult acne, and I had acne as a teenager. But this adult acne just attacked me at I looked horrible. Like Artey said, she was a mess. I was a mess. I can guarantee you I probably was worse off than her. So I had some cystic acne. And here comes Shandi again, right? Persistence. She told me, I have a product that can help you. It's also a business attached. I still wasn't trying to hear about the business. I was still being ignorant. But I started using the product. So I'm using these products, the sample she gave me. I go back to work, a couple weeks, 3 weeks pass, and people at work are noticing a difference in my skin. And they asked me, what is it? I tell them it's something called Arbonne. And They want to know how they could get it. I told them they can go online. But remember, I already signed up for the business. I wasn't working the business. I was playing around with it. They started purchasing products. Other people started purchasing products. That following month, I get a check in the mail. And that's when the light bulb finally came on, because Shandi always told me there was a business attached to it. I couldn't see it. I'm a visual person, so I think that check made me really realize this is something true. And what was I doing? I did nothing differently than anybody else. I used products and people saw results. I saw results. And so people just loved what they did. And I loved that I was getting paid for something I've already been doing for years. Now, I started the business, I was 44. I'll be 48 this year. So all those years, 20 some years of just being knowledgeable about the industry and about what a difference I could have made in trading time for money and working on and being in a network marketing business is amazing. So now, I can't make myself feel guilty for those years I didn't know, but now that I know about this industry and what it's done for me, I'm going full speed ahead, and I want to take anybody who's willing to go with me to the top, because it's an amazing time and amazing business. So let me tell you guys why Arbonne and why now. You hear what I'm saying about this time leverage, but I already talked about the products we have. They're consumable products. And consumable products meaning you're going to use them over and over and over and over and over and over again. So how many of you have been brushing your teeth for like over, I don't know, when was the last time you remembered when you started brushing your teeth? Was it 2, 3? Who knows? And we're maybe in our mid-20s, 30s, 40s. So we've been using toothpaste. When it runs out, we go back to the store and get more toothpaste. That's a consumable product that you're always going to use. So we're never going to stop brushing our teeth unless we have dentures, but I guess we can still do that. But the consumable products is one reason why Arbonne. The second, a demand for health and wellness. So everybody's on the health and wellness kick. You can look everywhere on commercials, on Facebook, Instagram. Everybody's talking about health and wellness, and they're trying to get healthy. It's always a resolution for the new year, but some people do stick it out. So the demand for health and wellness, and that's what we know about. Then the ability to leverage your time. Already touched on building, leveraging your time. When you're working 10 hours and you have 4 other people working 10 hours, and you're getting the hours worked with the 50 hours total. That's leveraging your time, because how could I add another 50 hours to what I'm already doing? Why not leverage your time and build a business like this? And then it's an internet-based business. This phone right here is my business. My bill that comes in, that's a business expense. I'm going to use that and write it off. So I'm excited because I could take my phone anywhere. That means I could take my business anywhere with me, and I can continue to build in the nooks and crannies. If I'm at the grocery store, I can talk to somebody and share this business with them, show them some pictures, share the product. So I love it, and it's just making so much sense for me. Okay. Thank you, Artey. So where do you see yourself? For me, it took a while. You guys, you heard my story. Shandi introduced me, like I said, about 9 years ago to this business, and I just said no because I didn't do the research. Do your due diligence and see what it's all about, because we're telling you that we love it. We told you our stories and our testimonies of how our lives have changed. There are thousands of people that have done the same thing, that really took a leap of faith, stepped out, and just doing what we're doing. 2 things. We're using products we use every day. We've been using them for years, and we're going to continue using them. Like I said, deodorant, soap, toothpaste, lotion. We all use those things. Women, we use makeup. And we're going to continue using those things until I don't know how long, whenever time ends. And like Artey said, from the basket to the casket. So as we age, we're going to continue using more products. Health and wellness is going to continue to boom. We want to leverage our time because we want to spend quality time with our family. And we just love these products. So it just makes so much sense to go ahead and jump in now. So what I'm saying is, where do you see yourself? Because you can be a host, and you can host an event. We actually, like Artey said, we're doing things on the computer. There wasn't Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or anything when she was doing her business. Facebook came about, I think 9 years ago. So I was able to utilize Facebook. Now we're doing virtual parties, so I don't even have to leave my home if I want to help somebody build a business or help somebody who wants to see anything about the products or who wants to host a party, because we can do it virtually. Now, if I'm local, I can do something local. And then other times we have people that are like Artey and Narissa and my friends in Los Angeles. I have people in Florida and Canada. They can reach out and touch my friends and they can do a party for me there. So we can have something called what's a host. And so you can have people do parties. Or you can become a client or a preferred client. As a client, you can shop for the products, but you're going to get retail prices. But the best thing is you're going to get our products, and we don't have any toxins in them, gluten free, vegan certified, no toxins. So you're going to get the best of the best products. As a preferred client, you spend $20, a one-time $20 fee. You're going to get 20 to 40% off of all your products for a whole entire year. So you're going to get the best of the best products, and plus you're going to get a discount, and you will love the products. Everything comes with a 45-day money-back guarantee. So that, again, is another incentive for you to at least go ahead and try these products. And then the fourth and final reason, or the way, is to become an independent consultant like Artey and I and thousands of others. It's $79, one-time fee. Your yearly renewal is $30. I mean, we spend $79 in a weekend. Some people spend it in a day. You can put this $79 towards a business and build something for your future. Leverage your time, build a livable asset for your family, and I'm sure you will love that. So with the $79, you get a home office, a back office, you get a website, you get the research and development, you get the, unlimited income potential, bonuses, personal development out the wazoo. Who doesn't want to become the best they can be? I mean, I don't know anybody around in my circle who's sitting around and they don't want to enjoy life and they're miserable. People are living now because we see how things have changed. All right. And so, like I'm saying, a lot of people don't want to take that jump. They're scared. Why be scared? But there are a lot of common fears and hesitations, as you can see here. I don't have enough time. I was one who didn't have enough time. I was working, 5, 6, 7 days a week, 8 days a week, because I would work those double shifts or triple shifts. So I found time in between that because I was using those products and people, I got the result. People saw it. So I was actually able to recoup my time because people, those checks I received, I could start taking a day off. Then I started taking 2 days off, and then I was up to 3 days off. So my time, I got it back. We have enough time where there's so much time we can carve out in a day that we can start building a business. I don't have enough money. That's the reason why you need to do this business, because you're using these same products. They're in the store with toxins as opposed to having with Arbonne and toxic free. You will earn a great income, and we'll talk about that. I don't know enough people. It's not who you know, it's who your friends know, and your friends of friends know, your friends of friends of friends. It's all about networking, because I didn't know Artey. I met Artey through another consultant who knew Artey. We're not even on the same team. But if you can see the picture, if I know a friend and that friend knows Artey and Artey knows somebody else, that's how you grow your network. So you not knowing enough people doesn't matter, because a network, your friends know friends. What will people think? So what? What will people think? They're going to talk about you regardless. It doesn't matter. I like to say people talked about Jesus and look what he did. For those believers who understand what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. What will people think? I mean, those people who are thinking that you can't do this are the same people that are wanting to do the same, what you're going to do. So disregard them. You have goals in your life. You have a why that you want to succeed, or whatever your case is. Keep going. Do what you need to do. And then what am I getting into? I didn't know what I was getting into. I know I needed to clear my face up because it was looking really bad and I could not stand the way it looked. So I was excited about that. The check I got in the mail, that I could help change people's lives. So that's what you're getting into. You're helping other people change their life, and you're becoming a blessing. It's a good thing to become a blessing to other people. So let me tell you about the 4 levels of management. Okay, so we have 4 levels of management in this company. Thank you, Artey. Everybody comes in on the same playing field. So You may be standing next to a personal trainer who's standing next to a stay-at-home mom who's standing next to a lawyer, a nurse, a doctor, somebody who's a millennial between the ages of 18 and 32, or someone who's at their senior ages, over 60. Everybody wants something in their life, and everybody can join this business. It doesn't matter, because we're all going to do those same things. We're going to use products, and we're going to recommend to our families and friends, our family and friends. And what we do it by stop, start, and share. So we stop using those products that are out there that are horrible, toxin-filled. We start using our own Arbonne products. We just simply replace that. We call it Arbonizing your home. If I have shampoo that I used, XYZ shampoo, I'm going to use Arbonne shampoo. If I use X mascara, I'm going to use Arbonne's mascara. And I'm going to get paid for it. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to look better. And it just makes more sense to me now that I know. So the first level of management is district manager. And these are averages, you guys. So the average amount of income you can make as a district manager is $266. The average time to get to that position is about 7 months. We usually think 1 to 3 months. It just depends on how much you talk to people. Like Artey said, she talked to a lot of people. And you can talk to people one-on-one. You can talk to people in groups. You can do something in Facebook Live. So I love that you can do this business and work it the way you want to. However much money I want to make, I can sit down and plan it out and make that much money in that month. I just have to talk to enough people and help people change their lives. So that first level of district manager, with that help me pay off a couple bills. The second level of is called area manager. At area manager, you can wheel your business, you guys. I've never ever heard of anything like that. I'm a nurse by trade, you know, and my insurance level was, I think it was 5 times my income or something like that. So that's a one lump sum. So I would have my bills, my household expenses, my family. If something was to happen, that they would get that one lump sum check. And plus, you know, they have to pay for my funeral. So where would that leave them? Although my husband works, it's just the fact that you want to leave something for them, a livable asset. This is what this business is. And so the average income for an area manager, second level, is about $1,400, upwards to $3,000-4,000 a month. My highest check there was about $4,500. So I loved it because I was just doing that same thing, stop, start, and share. There's nothing different. There's no secret passes. You get to that next level. You just do that same thing, because remember how we said you're going to leverage your time. So I'm doing the same thing as those other 4 people I teach. Simple. And you can get their average time, 20 months to get there. That's not much time, because that time is going to go. If you can think what happened a year ago. I mean, I just looked at some pictures on Facebook as the memories came up. A year ago, I did an event. It seemed like yesterday. So that's how time fast. I mean, how much time, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, the third level is regional vice president. That's where I and Artey are. And you see that Mercedes-Benz emblem there. That means Mercedes-Benz, or Arbonne, gives us a sliding scale amount of money up to $800 for a white Mercedes-Benz. White because white represents purity. And so our founder wanted us to be in the safest vehicle ever, which is Mercedes-Benz. So that's why we have that as our car of choice. The average income is about $5,300 a month. I know people are making upwards of $10,000. I know some people are making less. It doesn't matter. You're working your business in the nooks and crannies, and you're building this business, and you're helping others. It takes about an average of 34 months. I think it took me a little over 2 years to get there and build a phenomenal team of people who wanted the same thing that I wanted. They wanted success, and they wanted to help other people change their lives. The fourth and final level is national vice president. As a national vice president, you guys, the average income is $21,000. It says $166 a month. And what they're doing is nothing different than anyone else. Stop, start, and share. Stop, start, and share. But they've changed so many people's lives. Their network is huge, and they've touched probably every country that we do business in. Those 7 countries we do business in. And it takes an average of about, it says 53 months, about 4 to 5 years. So if you think about the time that has passed 5 years ago, as opposed to, I mean, 5 years is nothing. To build a business like this, doing the same thing you've been doing, and that you're going to continue doing, and that you're going to recommend to your family and friends, like Artey said about the movies and restaurants. We do that all the time. Why can't you recommend something that's going to benefit somebody for their health? So to me, it just makes absolute sense. I hope it does to you. because now is the time to really jump in and think about something like this, because it, like I said, it makes so much sense. So I talked to you about how you can get involved. I talked to you about the compensation plan and about the business. And you guys, like I said, it's time. It's really time. We don't know where the U.S. is headed and what things are happening now. So take a chance for yourself, because our jobs don't guarantee us now. Really, they don't. My mother was a teacher. She retired. She had a pension plan. I lost my mother in 2009, and my father still gets her pension plan and her Social Security. That probably won't be in existence when we get older. They're no longer pension plans. Jobs are laying off people left and right. You have to prepare for impact. And what if you can build a business alongside of what you're already doing to have that cushion for your family, just in case something was to happen? Because if you were the main bread earner and you lost your job or you were downsized, how long would your family survive? And just imagine if you had something that you were building up right alongside that you can say, you know what, I don't need this corporate job or whatever the job I was doing, I just over broke. I have this to fall back on. And with you helping people to change, helping to change other people's lives, I mean, it's going to continue to grow. So I don't know what else to say, Artey. I thank you guys for being on. Please get back to the person who invited you to this call tonight. We really appreciate you being on. I thank you. I know Artey thanks you. Artey, thank you for inviting me. I'm hyped up now. I probably won't go to sleep for a couple hours. I'm going to be up.
On insomnia. I know. Me too. I'm so excited to be on with you. And thank you again all the way, across the country to
You're welcome.
Staying up for us. Thank you for taking that extra fizzy stick.
I know.
Oh my
You're
God.
welcome. You're welcome.
I love you. And
love
I
you.
can't wait for everyone's teams to continue to blossom and grow with us, because seriously, we have so much work to do, and there's so much to be done in changing other people's lives and giving them the power to choose on better products and better health. So thank you. And with that, have a great night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Love you.
Love you. I'll see you at GTC.
Absolutely.
Moochie poo.